theme song.
What theme song? Do you prepare any song?
Yeah, we do need a theme.
Oh yeah, like those morning show, like.
We have so many musicians on. We need like a
Templates.
band to like just playing like behind there.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Late show. Oh, okay.
Welcome to the Naked Mothership. We are joined today by Uzair Sawal and Yugo T. They run a space in KL called Fono.
Dhyan, I'm Earl.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
We're broadcasting live from Jam Cafe in Bangkok.
Beautiful Thursday afternoon.
It is.
Yeah, there's a lot of people outside as well.
The procession, the barge procession. The king's in town on the river.
I don't know how to break the ice. I was suggesting to these guys they just tell me some like crazy experience they've had straight away. So let's just get right into it. Tell me about the craziest experience you guys have had.
Oh, who's
Yeah.
Rob? You were discussing whether or not.
Oh, landlord.
Yeah,
Should we bring him up first?
We'll start with our landlord. His name is Rob.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we brought everybody together
Yeah.
This is
to
at,
the space.
at
Fono at Zongshan building.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, yep.
Johnson.
Starting the show with Rob Tan. Yeah, I mean, but he is a crucial individual of like how Fono came about as well. Because when I first saw the space, the building, it was still under construction and all that. And I was like back and forth, like, should I do it? I don't even have the idea of Fono, just like, I just want to rent as a personal studio. Yeah. And I backed out a few times, and he kept like messaging me like, I think we need like some music component to the building. Yeah, so just the gist of it, Zongshan building is it's like a creative community.
sort of like galleries and stuff in there as well, yeah.
We have one gallery, but there are other makeshift galleries as well. And then
Library, retail,
one
cafe.
library.
How many floors?
Four
Four
floors
wow.
and
Yeah.
3 units. Three joint blocks. Yeah. But every floor sometimes there are like several tenants. So where Fono is, we actually share with 2 other tenants. We have an artist, Kian, who does his stage design. He's also a practicing architect. And then we have a research center, and that is just on our floor.
What's the research center?
They do mainly about
Cultural.
cultural, economics thing. Yeah, they're French.
Anthropology or like economics, like the local.
Economics, mostly on Southeast Asian. Yeah.
Okay, the entire region, not just KL.
Honestly, we're not so sure because like whenever they talk about economics, and then the rest of the artist community is like,
They tune out, right?
sure,
Yeah.
we'll be there. Yeah, we have 2 bookstores. Yeah, selling very curated books, like first print, rare stuff. Yeah. Even the record store is very niche. Like they just focus on more guitar-driven music, mainly punk, thrash. Yeah.
And in
Rock,
vinyl?
vinyl, cassettes. Yeah, mainly cassettes. Yeah. And yeah, of course they have the other things like merch and zines. Yeah. What else do we have? We have a
So we have
stationery
bakery.
store, bakery,
Famous
bakery that sells also like very niche. They just sell sourdough. Like his
Sourdough. Nice.
This-
Yeah, I didn't see a bakery when I was there.
you were there at night.
It's behind the
Yeah.
retail, yeah.
So
I'm
Everything
from
closed
San
at night.
Francisco, so I can
Yeah.
appreciate good bread.
So Fono is the only unit that operates after 9 p.m. The rest usually from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
So
where
usually the
Fono
last place
started.
open in a sleepy little area?
Yeah, it's the area now. We won't say like we're the last one to sleep because there's a lot of constructions going on and they're racing against time, so they just like work.
Same here
24
at
hours
Bangkok.
round the
Yeah,
clock.
yeah.
Yeah,
Always and forever.
yeah. And we thought we were safe, like we found this area. So, well, next thing we know,
massive constructions going
So
on.
I don't know. I don't know. Should I blame ourselves for the gentrification? I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It could
Sort of
be.
a chicken egg sort of
Yeah,
deal. Like the
could be
reason you
our
went
problem
there
as
was
well,
because
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
quiet,
We are
and now
part
it's
of that
quiet.
as
Yeah,
well. That's where Fono started.
yeah.
Building.
But I think we haven't explained what fono is actually
Yeah.
about. So
Now
Yeah,
we go to
I like
Fono.
that it seemed like it wasn't like necessarily like a bar. It was kind of like a
Listening room.
like a studio space,
Studio.
listening room.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean the bar exists to sustain.
Mhm.
Actually, like we're still trying to figure out a working model where we can just rely 100% on the art, but reality.
It's
Yeah,
tough to
reality
keep something
is
and
We have
keep
to
Yeah.
pay
something
the
on rent,
artists.
Yeah.
We
right?
have to
Yeah,
pay
yeah.
musicians. Yeah. That's right.
But Fono is partly inspired by this place as well. Like my trip to Bangkok a few years ago. Yeah, I actually played my first show in Bangkok here, like where we're sitting right now. Yeah, it was quite an international night as well. It was this DJ from Barcelona and Mexico, and this Kiwi guy.
Yeah.
He left.
Oh, yeah, we're just talking about them.
Where is he now?
He's gone to like I don't know where he is right now, but he's actually really wanted to get him on here.
Yeah.
But he's gone to this is DJ Woken from the Bangkok Reggae Appreciation Society.
Yeah.
He went to like meditate in a cave in Nepal, and then when I saw him, he was in Bangkok, but he went to like Shaolin after that. Yeah, so
He's doing a monastery tour.
He's sold like
he's got
I
the
think
sampler
all of
plate
his
of,
all of his possessions. Like, he sold
spirituality.
like I think
Wow.
over 1,000 records to K9 and just
Alright.
just left. Yeah.
That's random.
K9 is also one of my favorite DJs here. It's really very cool.
Yeah, it's great that it's still getting used because he just had like the most amazing box. It was like
Yeah.
basically a treasure chest, you know.
Yeah.
The trunk popped open. It was like, oh,
Yeah.
it like glows and sings at you.
How many years ago was that when you were first here?
2014?
Before
2014, so 5 years ago.
I think so, yeah.
Or you're still in TDDI?
No,
The first
I mean, the
venue.
idea of public school haven't been around either.
Oh, not yet.
No.
2014.
But yeah, when I saw this place, I'm like, I've always been wanting to have my own venue. Reminds me also of another place in KL called Palette Palette. It's very similar. The
Vibe.
aesthetic, the vibe. They have like good food. Yeah,
Curate good music shows.
music
as well.
shows. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And then I went to Studio Lam, and then it was like, oh, they were playing like Malay music. I'm like, this can't be right. I want to play Malay music.
Yeah.
Why am I letting other people play
Play
my
our song.
music?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's more like motivation. So, okay. But yeah, the reason why they play it because no one else pushing for it as well in Malaysia at least. Yeah.
Well, at least in Thailand, Mulan is getting like really huge.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
I think that's part of our mission as well, to bring in our own local sound, local artists. Yeah.
But I also feel like it's also a very like we're in our own bubble. I'm not sure about Bangkok, but for in KL, we will have like our group of friends, English speakers, when they hear like music, Malaysian music in local dialects. So, oh yeah, that is cool because it's always been a bit remote.
Right.
But when we talk to the Malays, the native speakers, they're like, this is
That it's old
Song
stuff.
from
It's
the
folk.
village.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
nobody wants to be specific
I
about
want
it.
to hear
because it's
Western
just
music.
Everything. Yeah. They think our stuff is like exotic and wild, and we think the same
Yes.
thing. Like of theirs. Like, wow, that's a great sound. I've never heard of this before. It's like
That
it's hard to
happens
get
in
people
Thailand as
excited
well.
about their own backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, then we established Fono just mainly for that reason, to push music actually, because so we
Makes
start
sense by the name.
yeah. So it's me and another guy, Rudy. We founded Fono. We came from club background, And after a while, it's just like, we're doing this every Saturday. Like, okay, what are we doing with our weekends, man? And then when we started experimenting, and then club owners like, okay, let's stop doing that.
We gotta play the mainstream.
Enough of that weird stuff.
Yeah. Gotta sell the champagne, man.
That's why. That's the restriction you got from the clubs. Something you can't play, something you can't play.
Yeah. It's like, we'll just, get our own space and, we're doing it.
Own venue.
Yeah.
Clubs are rough.
How long has it been running now? It's like a year and a half, 2 years?
2 years. We're entering our third year.
Oh, right.
But we actually started mid-2017. We just didn't launch it yet because we have no background in running business. Or
That feels like us with this.
Yeah, we really don't know what's going on. We're just like, okay, let's do this. It's like, okay. But we didn't have a fridge. We were selling drinks out of cooler box or with the ice.
Replacing
melting.
ice and the melting under it.
Yeah, so for the rest of the second half 2017, we were just a very long beta testing. Yeah, way to put the speakers and what's the best layout. And we officially launched in January 2018. So second year, entering third year. So far, so good.
Sounds like you got past the big humps that it's like I've heard for a lot of restaurants. I'm not quite sure if that's the same for bars or studio spaces.
Yeah.
But the first year is always the hardest that most places close within.
We because of our network, again coming from the music industry, we would have other DJs who's out of frustration and they want to play.
Right, when they can't, the same thing that you had when you went to the club and they want to play what they want to play. And I was like, no, play the same stuff.
And we told them you can't really pay, but you can have fun, and that's how pretty much our first year. Just a lot of people just donating their time for us. I would say right now we're not running at a loss, but we haven't cracked our initial investment yet. So we might looking at make that money back in this third year.
You're in the black for the quarter, but not necessarily your entire investment.
Yeah. So now it's just the time to get the money back.
Start cranking.
Yeah.
You guys are also part of a collective called Public School. What is that?
So the guy that I mentioned, Rudy, we were just joking. We were having we went to Bali, so we were just talking, drinking, and saying we should have a night where we educate people. Again, the story I told you about that we're not allowed to do things that we love. It's just call it public school. So it was an idea for a night, a club
Learn
night.
you something.
Yeah. It didn't happen. The club didn't pick it up. At first they wanted it when they actually heard what we want to play. It's not going to work.
It's not just a name. You actually want to teach people something.
Because sometimes people book us because of our name. They know us, but they don't necessarily know what we do.
What we're going to do that night.
And but we just kept the name. And then we were playing at a farmer's market. We're okay, what should we build ourselves? Public school. And from just the two of it, from the name of public, from the name of the club night, it converted into a series, and then eventually become a very loose collective. Yeah. So that's first it was 2, and then now we have
15 members.
Yeah. 10 core members, but then we have affiliates, producers, and people just helping us out. Yeah. So we did Mix CD, and then people come and help us fold the thing and glue the CD cover. The idea is free education, but the funny thing is the idea of the name public school, it doesn't really fly in UK, because I found out that public school in UK is not really the free thing, it's actually the posh school.
Yeah.
Right.
No, in America it's the other way around. Public schools.
Anywhere else in the world, it's
everybody gets to go to
public schools and
Right,
community college or whatever. It's something that's the idea should be accessible. Yeah, but yeah. When you go to UK, it's like, public school, they'll think us like some posh kids, in some estate.
That's funny. It's its own way. Yeah. Shake them up.
Yeah.
Public school initiative.
I'm not sure. Yeah. We'll think about it once we have to cross that bridge. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we try to do other things, but mainly like bunch of music nerds who don't really want to play at a club, so we've been reaching out to like other promoters. We played at farmers market outside of the city. We played at art galleries.
Have you played any school gymnasiums yet?
Would love to, not
yet.
yet. Not yet. Yeah, do like sound system style. Yeah, we did in a wet
Those have
market as well.
surprisingly good acoustics. Those basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw some photos. It looked like somewhere like in like a village somewhere. You guys set up like a sound system. I don't know where that was.
It was done by
No. I think that was in the farm at Bangi. I think it was for Mari Market. Yeah. Yeah, it was an organic market, like this, like they're just really passionate about their produce, and everything is about like slow cook, everything is vegetarian, no waste, so you either eat on like piece of leaf or just like rent cutleries and tableware, and it's very cool that they did initiative, but of course it's hard to maintain because people love easy and cheap things.
Right.
Yeah.
Convenience.
Even they were very selective with the food vendors as well. They have a what do you call it? Audition. They have to make sure you're not using you're not using like Tefal pans, for example. Everything needs to be really low toxic content.
No styrofoam. That's huge.
So that
here
was
in
before
Thailand. Every
fono,
place
right?
has
There was
packages their to-go stuff in styrofoam and plastic bags.
Yeah. So musically, we vibe with them because we told them like, all our music are organic.
Right.
Yeah, it's nothing like overly produced, and we just want to like push simple music where everyone can listen to it. Yeah, but that's the idea of public school. Like, we just wanted to make it accessible. So we've been very selective as well with where we put our branding. Like we try to do it all ages venues as well. Because in Kuala Lumpur there's a lot of alcohol or cigarette back events, and usually this comes if like above 18 or that
Right.
thing. And I think that younger kids should be exposed to music as early as they can.
And it'd be counterintuitive to the idea of public school if kids can't come in and watch, listen, and learn.
With parents.
With the parents. And also because usually I have like older friends who say, I can't go to the event because I have to take care of my kids.
Bring your kids.
Yeah,
bring your
that's
kids.
the whole idea.
Bring your kids, bring your dog.
I bring your dog, yes.
Yeah, to the market, to the farmer's market.
Yeah.
And it's a vegetarian market, too.
Yeah.
So we enjoy those outdoor events a lot.
Outdoor events.
Yeah. Eventually we...
But so public school is the Blues Collective, and then fono is like, because we just want to have two separate entities because money is involved with fono, so we try to apply like the business model to just to not to make it so messy. Yeah.
You're also involved in RexKL. You're like the music director. RexKL.
I mean, they throw that word around, but
It's like a converted cinema space.
the people running it, they're my friends. They don't really have, as of now, like not like proper structure. They have like the skeleton stuff. But if sometimes they just like reach out to me and say, hey, can you like help us out with like music programming? And that's where I step in because I like the space.
Yeah,
And
really cool.
and again, I don't want them to reach out like other people. You don't know what
It's like
music,
a
It's old cinema.
Huh.
It's been like burnt down before, and it's like.
But
Yeah,
that
brand.
Rex is also the original name, Rex Cinema. I think they still have a functioning Rex in Singapore.
Right.
Yeah, because in the 50s, Malaysia and Singapore
Right.
the same country. Yeah, so we share a lot of like names that is from those days, like Shaw Brothers and all that. Especially like the cinema business. I think they have both offices and studios in both Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. And Rex Cinema, I'm not sure the exact history, but go way back. Yeah, even before it is a moving picture place, it was a place for theater, a Chinese theater. So it has always
Like,
tradition in community entertainment.
Like traditional Chinese theater, like with dress, or like
Chinese
Hong Kong
opera.
style action opera.
Chinese
Okay.
opera.
yeah,
Live opera.
like yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. That's where Chinatown is.
I think
Rex.
yeah. I've never been to. I think I've been to Chinese opera. Is it the same thing? The
Oh, no.
Hungry Ghost in Penang? No, it's different. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, now it's
It's one of the hottest
one of the
venue
hottest now. Yeah.
in KL.
I'm sure the sound must be great.
Well,
was it tough? Was
it's
it
a
tough
bit,
to set up?
it's tough, but Rex doesn't have its own in-house system yet. Again, still
Space
trying to
just
figure out.
completely empty.
Yeah.
You can
So
fit like,
other,
what, like 1,000 people,
1,000,
something
yeah.
crazy like that in there.
The
So,
recent event,
yeah.
they defeated like 1,005, 2,000 people.
So
Yeah.
so right now, they're trying to recoup, the cost construction, not construction, restoring.
Renovation.
Yeah, restoring, because they try to maintain as much as the original facade, including the burnt look, because it got burned twice.
Still remains.
It's like, yeah, let's keep this charred
The
wall.
char.
It does look awesome, but you don't want it burning down a third
Yeah.
time.
And yeah, so like big brands, they would come in and like, okay, we're bringing the sound system, and they had a Fredberry subculture, which I think is interesting, because for that particular event in Rex, it was the first time Fredberry where they did 100% local lineup. Usually they will have like, I don't know, some washed out UK musicians doing
Bring someone in from Europe.
DJ
bring someone
set.
in from-
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Australia is get a lot of Australians in KL, or
Not so
Not
much.
really,
Not very much.
actually, not so much.
I would have thought it's pretty
Yeah.
close.
And then Rex had, right after that, they had Circo Loco from Ibiza. That's how you pronounce Ibiza, I'm not sure.
Ibiza.
Yes.
Ibiza?
Yeah. And yeah, I think now like it's a learning process for them, for me as well as a third party promoter. Yeah, but I work closely with them also. Yeah. And it's very nice. Like if anybody pass by KL, we really recommend to check it out. Yeah.
I'm surprised that it's hard to organize an all Malaysian lineup for
I think
a music festival, or even just for a night.
It works, but sometimes it's, again, I don't know, maybe the whoever is signing the checks, they're like, no, we want
a little kickback from
yeah.
someone on a.
Yeah, it's not hard to
on a
gather like
Yeah.
all local artists.
Right, it's not
musicians.
hard.
It's not
Yeah.
hard at
Yeah.
all. Like, we have so many bands,
Yeah.
musicians in Malaysia.
but they just need like a headliner kind of
Right.
thing. Yeah. But yeah, again, like just to establish the backstory, the limitations, I guess, for doing things in Malaysia on a big scale is it is conservative country in a sense that majority Muslims. So there's a lot of lines you just like tiptoe around it, especially when it comes to like alcohol sponsorships or like sexy performers. I mean, who am I to define what is sexy and what is not? But yeah, like that.
Yeah, like
Limitation. Yeah.
a little bit the same in Thailand.
Yeah.
Like you can go a little more with that's kind of like the whole Isan and Molam, not Molam, but the genre is having like backup dancers
The
being
tongue stuff.
a full entire line in costume. Yeah,
Right.
but like you just, you still can't drink. You still can't drink live.
Yeah.
Even though they're all sponsored by. This keeps coming back. We're all sponsored by beer companies.
Is
They
it
can't
like in
drink.
in Malaysia? Is it also similar to like in Indonesia, where cigarette companies sponsor a lot of like music festivals and things like that?
Not as massive as Indonesia. Yeah, Indonesia is just like they're so big that I can't remember one of the cigarette giants. I think either BAT or Philip Morris. They literally like closed shop in Malaysia and just moved the entire operation to Indonesia. Yeah. But yeah, now I think in Malaysia the current big players, like we're talking about corporate sponsorship, would be like IQOS, e-cigarette,
E-cigarette, and beer.
So they're going aggressive.
alcoholic brand.
E-cigarette company.
Yeah, so they aggressively
That's a
like,
big difference.
like
between Thailand,
hijacking
Yeah.
cultural lifestyle events. Yeah, but yeah, I think like public school, we're one of the very few that try to keep this DIY spirit alive. Like so before I play club, I also come from like punk hardcore background. So I'm used to like, you know, lugging sound system up and down venue and like, you know, being in a van, sleep in a van,
not a truck, a van.
the van life.
Did you play guitar? You're like the singer or
No, it was the less popular one, the bassist.
Bass? I don't need a bass.
Yeah.
Rhythm's important.
Yeah. But that was like way back, and then I'm just enjoying now in like behind the scene, promoting shows, connecting people with other people as well.
When did you pick up the cam?
The what?
The wind instrument.
The one that you saw on the photo.
In Thai, that's called the can, right?
No, that's actually string instruments. It's called sapi.
Yeah.
So I'm from Sarawak. It's East Malaysia, and in Borneo we have this instrument called sapi. I'm not saying, can't really say that I'm good at it, but the photos is we were just doing we recorded a jam session where I just experimented with that and like hook it up to pedals and just trying to redefine.
That's sweet. I know that's exact. That's perfect. That's
just trying
I love
redefine.
like putting wind instruments like that through
No, it's
through the module.
String instrument.
Oh, that one's
Yeah,
string. It looks like the can.
yeah.
Sorry, I getting
What's it
getting
called?
confused with the can.
Sape, S-A-P-E.
Alright.
Yeah.
And it's from like Sarawak.
It's from Borneo actually, because Borneo is very is porous. Like we don't really have like a clear, in terms of culturally, we don't really have a clear border. Yeah. So in Borneo there are 3 different countries. There's like there are 2 Malaysian states there. In between those states there is Brunei, and then the southern half is Kalimantan, which is part of Indonesia. But the thing about like Malaysians and Indonesians from Borneo, we always refer to ourselves from Borneo first. Only like we are Malaysian or Indonesian. Yeah, because we share culture, and it's just like it cannot be defined as like, oh, this is Malaysian or this is Indonesian. We will just say like, oh yeah, this is Borneo music. Yeah. So the one in the photo that you saw, I was borrowing it from my neighbor in the same building. Her name is Alena. Elena Moran, she does great music. She just released this music video, Mida Bidang. It's very beautiful. Again, we're just like this new generation trying to redefine or reclaim like this narrative, because for most people, like when you say like indigenous or whatever, it's like village. So yes, it's village, but you know it doesn't have to be backwards. Or,
Right.
You know, just because someone's living outside of the city doesn't mean they're outdated.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And
Yeah, you can't have rock without blues.
Yeah.
You gotta take some sort of traditional
and
backing from somewhere.
she's part of this Little Islands Big Songs collective. So all the musicians from other islands, Pacific islands, like Hawaii, Polynesia, So they got together and they're now touring and write music together. So it's very interesting to see how this from different countries, but somehow we are culturally connected. It's like island culture. Yeah, because I feel like Borneo, like we're even somehow related to Hawaii. That's like very far, but for some reason, we have like the same, not
The
same,
broad
similar
pan-Polynesian, not
and
just...
like we have tattoo culture. We have a very music that is very we pay a lot of tribute to the nature, to the sea.
sailing, fishing, carving.
Are there a lot of like Malaysian artists that are using like contemporary doing contemporary music but using traditional instruments?
Not a lot actually. Yeah. But another thing that Alena and myself we try to do as well, and we try to stay away from labeling it traditional instrument, because if you think about it, like
Which
piano,
might get pigeonholed.
your acoustic guitar is it's very old as well.
Right.
We don't call that traditional instrument. We just
Or
call
folk.
it
Or if you're
instrument.
calling it, you can call it folk, but then
Yeah.
you're going to get less people listening.
Yeah.
It's all about what you call it.
Yeah. Try not to just lump it
Call it
like,
indie rock.
like world music, but still music. But it's we try to make it to normalize it, to be fun.
It's also like the music we play normally on records, vinyls.
Yeah.
We play old music, like
Yeah.
Malaya disco stuff,
Yeah.
Nusantara disco. These are all from that generation,
Yeah.
the old generation. Yeah,
But
we don't categorize.
It's not that
what we play.
necessarily like, oh, you're into
Yeah.
vintage. People always call it vintage music or something. What the hell is
Yeah.
vintage
It's
music?
like what we're listening to daily as
Yeah.
well. We don't categorize what we're listening to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so circling back to that, like again, fono is like I try to have a place for people to experiment.
To some people, it's new sound because they've never been listening to all this music during 70s, 80s.
Yeah. But I guess also it's the same with Bangkok, because like this Molam tourists is from outside of Bangkok.
Mhm.
Yeah, for us city folks, it's like, oh yeah, it's cool. Yeah. So for Kuala Lumpur as a whole, we still have a lot to learn about our neighbors. Not just like from other countries, but even
inside Malaysia.
Inside Malaysia, we still have a lot to learn about like our friends from Kelantan or especially from East Malaysia.
That the rural-urban divide
Yeah.
is real. That's
And I don't know about like politically, like maybe people will start to look more to East Malaysia because Indonesia, they're moving the capital from Jakarta
right.
to Kalimantan.
It's sinking, isn't it?
Sinking, something like
And the
sinking.
traffic.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Like once the capital is on that side of the island, and who knows.
Well, I think the cultural capital will still remain. I mean, it's like in Australia when do they move the capital to Canberra?
I'm not sure.
But it's like fairly recent. I mean, it's like just because you move the seat of government somewhere doesn't mean that everybody goes. It just kind of means that it's sort of like a weird federal district where only politicians and lobbyists may live.
But for us, I think it could have like international airports.
Right.
That's one thing.
So that's true. That like if it's easier, if the roads go through there easier, then it brings anybody who's on that side of the island.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right.
But yeah, Yugo is from Kuala Lumpur.
I hadn't really thought about that. How moving the capital, that even though it's not necessarily the culture from the capital city itself. I mean, they're just like building all of that brand new, but like people still live there.
But I don't know. Probably again, highlight other issues as well, like deforestation and whatnot. Yeah. Because
well, yeah, I mean, the reason they're moving
have-
it is because of climate change. I mean, like,
we have
you kind of think that deforestation might exacerbate that
our
in KL.
we have our annual haze as well. Fires from
our neighbor.
Kalimantan.
Is that happening now, or when is that?
Every year.
Every
I don't
year.
know.
Yeah.
It's just I think before I came,
It became one of the
I
seasons.
was told just before it was like really bad in KL.
Yes, it was really bad. It was like
season.
you get a very orange sunset. Yeah.
Sydney at the moment, from what I've heard, is I think it's like that might be the worst place right now because of all this like
Really?
bushfires,
Bushfire.
like all around. Yeah, so
Because it's so hot.
Drier than hot.
Yeah, I think there's been
Dry.
like probably a combination of climate change and also people starting fires. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good now. Like I mean, climate change is not that good, but now even musicians and artists we're talking about it, and more people are talking about it because I think at a bigger scale, artists people listen more to artists and musicians than politicians. Yeah.
I hope so. That was a big
yeah.
part of, like, say, ending apartheid,
Yeah.
the cultural aspect of that. But I mean, there's other things. It's like I'm not quite sure, like, if it'll happen in time, that everybody knows about it. But if it's already going, and a lot of people are just like too old to care, that they think, well, I'll be dead soon.
Yeah.
What's that got to do with me? But yeah, I don't know. It's there were wildfires in California too, and like for the last 2 years running, they've been started by faulty electrical wires run by Pacific Gas and Electric. So, you ever see Aaron Brockovich?
Yeah.
That's PG&E. That Aaron Brockovich is about PG&E. And that was like 20 years ago. That they got Pacific Gas and Electric. They are the monopoly on gas and electricity, and they're a private monopoly. They're a private company. So they're supposed to be maintaining these gas lines and these overhead electrical wires. And there have been explosions in San Bruno. That was about 5-10 years ago, and very recently the Camp Fire. That they haven't been doing maintenance on the wires. They come down. They cause a spark in the dry dry environment, and the whole county lights up.
I was under the impression a lot of the wildfires in California was like direct energy weapons targeting alien bases underground.
Well, if they were targeting underground, wouldn't like sound make more sense? Because that's like if we're smoking them out, then that's just getting us. We're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We'd have to funnel that underground, and like smoke and heat rises. No, we need to be making earthquakes. If we wanted to target like underground bases, like you'd have to be trying to start earthquakes, not fires.
And you guys played, was it Goja?
Goja.
Last night, yes,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Last-
Many people came, and
Yoshi
thanks
and-
to
Yeah.
Toru-san.
It's interesting. Wednesday. One thing I like about Bangkok is always like somehow like I'm not sure if this is every time, but every time I'm here, the midweek parties are always a lot of people. Not a lot of people, but there's nice
happening.
number of people who came. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's relaxed.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we always like Goja.
It was my first time. So,
Yeah.
I was telling her, I feel like I played in Osaka. I played in Osaka before, and you have like the smaller, it's smaller than Jam for those who haven't been there. And whenever I just like try to eavesdrop, which is like Japanese people speaking, I think it's their their safe
Tourist
space. I guess.
friends. There's a lot of
Yeah.
DJs from Japan as well.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, like the two DJs played with us, yeah, actually Japanese. Yeah, and one of them, I think I met them here, actually, Yoshi. Yeah. I don't know, man. Jam is very important to me. Yeah, I met a lot of people here. Yeah.
It's a huge city. It's gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta go everywhere else too.
Yeah.
No, I was talking to someone just today that in Vientiane, it's a tiny little town. It's a capital, but it's the smallest capital you'll ever go to. In Laos, that it's like you're kind of forced to meet all the different expat communities. Like you meet the Indians, you meet the French, you meet the Germans, you meet Belgians, you meet Chinese, you meet Koreans. Like just because it's so small, it's like there's nowhere else that you're gonna go. That in Bangkok, it's just big enough where you'll run into people. Like it's small enough that you'll run into the same people like out in the street. But it's big enough that you might not necessarily meet, like there might be an entirely different community of Japanese speakers that go to one bar, or French speakers that go to another bar, and that you might like just never see them. It's just big enough. Do you feel that way about KL?
KL, it's still segregated, I would say. Yeah, I wanted to say trivia. This girl right here was one of the expats in Bangkok. Lived here for like a few years.
Yeah, I worked in Bangkok for 3 years.
Yeah.
So I left Bangkok 2 years ago and moved back to KL. So pretty much, I love Bangkok a lot.
She can still talk to the taxi drivers.
Yeah, I can speak survival Thai.
Yeah, yes.
Left, right,
that's
straight,
enough for me.
U-turn.
Yes.
Yeah.
To order food. Yes.
Barely.
That's why I always feel like home in Bangkok. Yeah. I love all the activities so happening everywhere you go, and then you can always find balance in Bangkok. Yeah, not just the night scene, but there is also very rich in the art scene as well.
Yeah, it's kind of great. It's a 24-hour town that you, if you're up, there's still something happening. It's not like it's
the morning market, the food.
KL is, in a way, it's also like, city never sleeps. I take pride in that. I think KL is like one of the top contenders for like city never sleep. I went to New York a few years back to live there, and people always say like, oh, New York city never sleeps. So it's like go out at 4 a.m. KL have more food to eat at 4 a.m. than New York. New York you have like diner and like that's it.
Just the one place that's like
But I think Southeast Asian cities like Bangkok or Kuala Lumpur, where the really cities that never sleep. Maybe because we have a lot of to catch up. I don't know.
Or maybe gotta cram to make up.
I think it's the food culture.
And also
you
food culture.
Just eat 24 hours.
It's great.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how about we take a 5-minute break? I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be honest, I gotta use the bathroom.
Go
Oh, you guys keep running?
Yeah.
How long ago were you living in Bangkok again?
3 years.
Right.
Yeah, very interesting 3 years. I think I see most of Bangkok. I worked in IT company on the business side. Yeah. So I go to like 9 to 5 work in Bangkok. Yeah. Then also I love to hang out in Studio Lam. That's why I chose to stay around Thonglor area. Yeah. So that's where I always hang out.
Maybe when you were living.
And you guys are going to be playing tonight?
Yeah, we'll be playing
Studio
tonight.
Lam. Yeah.
Really excited about it.
Is it just you two?
Just two of us. I think
two of us.
because right now, like most people are like gearing up for Wonderfruit as well.
Yeah, there's so many artists in town now. So many
And tomorrow, we have a friend from Korea, Mimi. She's playing at Studio Lam, and then both of us will be playing at Wonderfruit. And it's kind of weird, but it's cool as well. I think like this next few days, I feel like it's an international gathering. I travel a lot, so I met a lot of people from other countries as well. And just last night alone, I had my friends from Nepal, from Italy, and then we were like hanging out in Goja. People were like, oh, how do you know them? I said, I met them in Nepal. Like, this girl, this Italian girl from Milan, she's performing at Wonderfruit. Then again, like meeting the Mimi from Korea, in Wonderfruit as well. And I don't know, but I think for most us, like people in music industry, we treat other people's event as our private reunion. Yeah, even in KL itself, it's like we would go to whatever events, not necessarily for the lineup, where we're just like catching up with other friends. So,
And where are you guys going to be playing in Wonderfruit?
Wonderfruit, I'm playing with another fellow primary school member, Naj. We are part of Ziggurat stage. And the interesting part about the stage is the lineup is fully from regional collectives. Wow. So it's not so much like celebrity DJs or acts. It's more of like people, according to Martin from Sabai, people who've been pushing the music, promoting everything. So it's like, yes, we're DJs, that's but really we are cool. Also like the behind the scene people. So I'm looking forward to connect. Like, our friends from Singapore, Revision Music, is also part of the lineup, and
Indonesia as well. DJs from Jakarta.
Paddy Grooves, Bali.
Studio Lam.
And then people from Hong Kong, Japan. Just looking forward to network with them. I just want to say, big up Sobat Sama Radio for like having us.
So that's your next gig at Wonderfruit?
Yes, Sunday.
Which stage again?
Studio Lam first tonight.
Studio Lam tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
And then on Sunday I'll be at Wonderfruit with another public school DJ. Playing Ziggurat stage. So I think it's lounge. It's a lounge singer stage. Yeah, not sure. It'll be my first time at Wonderfruit.
Yeah, it's my first time also.
Yeah. I wanted to go there's one time that I was mentally ready and financially ready for Wonderfruit, and then they postponed it because the King.
Yes, it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They pushed it to January.
I never really like happened to go again. Until this weekend. Yeah.
That was a weird time during the memorial that a lot of festivals weren't sure.
Yeah, it was my last year working in Bangkok during that year.
But we were talking about it as well because actually outside of Wonderfruit there are other festivals that the local guys have been doing it. So like similar like installations and whatnot, great open grass fields. It's just that again maybe it's just not marketed in English. So these are the things that I wanna check out more in our region. The more like locals, not necessarily repackaged for expats. Yeah.
Anything Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam.
Cambodia.
Yeah. I'm not sure if there's anything in Cambodia.
I don't know. It seems like Siem Reap would be a nice enough place to hold one, but it might be tough finding grounds that aren't necessarily like national park. Yeah. Like maybe you could just do like a crawl along the old town. Phnom Penh would probably be easier.
Yeah.
Is there any festivals in Laos?
Oh yeah. A friend of mine, Greg, we tried to get up a festival called Vienstock, Vienstock. And that was a lot of fun. That we a lot of the musicians in the local Lao scenes are teachers or are English teachers or expats. So having the school grounds available for use on weekends, it's really it's useful. And there's a scene. It's a little small.
There's one that I've been checking out virtually, RexKL in Indonesia. Very nice lineup. It's outside as well, like in the forest. Triple REC Fest. Yeah. And they would have like like the coolest, not coolest, but very cool indie band. and then they will have a dangdut act, and then on the other side they have a spiritual folk singer. And yeah, there's something I would like to see in Malaysia as well. Like, I would like to see Melayu Asli. I don't know how to translate it in English. Malay folk music, or like Chinese Indian music, alongside modern contemporary bands, for example. Yeah, or even like I think in Thailand now people have they dub the Molam music.
Yeah.
Last night we heard this digital. He played like one record. It's like it has this
It's the version of more.
the typical. You have the typical sound character of Molam,
But I think
but it
Paradise
has
Bangkok
like
plays
dub and then very heavy reggae bass
Fast, big
lines.
back. Yeah.
Wow. So there's something that I have yet to see organically in Malaysia. Like, people attempt, but it's more of like those typical, YouTube mash up.
remakes.
So it's not really organic. It's just like they just mash it up.
It's like also
Yeah.
like a bedroom sort of like
Yeah.
make it in your publish it. And
Yeah. Another thing I would love to see in Malaysia is like maybe you can make dangdut big again.
but there's nothing quite like a live band. Yeah.
So dangdut is Indonesian music actually, but it's big in certain communities in Malaysia, but it can be very wild. I guess that's why they suppress it. Yeah.
Other parties get like out of hand when they happen, or
No, it's just sexual. Yeah. It's like it's like going to Notting Hill Carnival, I guess. You just have people
Hooking up.
shaking, and
Hardline, no go.
yeah, something like that. But like you asked earlier, again, how is it the scene in Kuala Lumpur? I would say we still segregated. One, my language. I can't exactly tell you why, because I'm not from Kuala Lumpur myself, so I have like different perspective on culture. Where in West Malaysia is politically is a bit different, because for the longest time it's been divide and conquer kind of thing, Yeah. Only recently, like people start to look at themselves as like one
Part of it.
one identity.
As opposed
Yeah. Before it was like it's me, it's you, it's them.
Yeah, we all speak different languages.
Yeah, it's a big barrier. It's a big barrier.
Preference are different.
Canadians still dealing with that.
yeah, I think it seems like racially very unintegrated still in Malaysia.
Sorry?
It still seems like not very integrated.
We try. There are several people who make that crossover. We just try to bridge it. So recently I formed an electronic band, and I was telling my bassist like, the reason I dropped you in because I want to play more like Chinese festivals. And the guy's like, oh, but the reason I play with you is because I want to play to the Malay speaking market. So, okay,
Yeah, that's good balance.
let's just penetrate both sides.
Yeah.
So there are more individuals like this now. We are like spreading our tentacles in every pockets. Yeah. And I think it's important because you just need someone mutual to bridge the gap.
Exchange.
Yeah. But one thing that I never really, I would say penetrate. Like, I try to understand or try to hang out with them would be the Tamil music community in Malaysia. I heard stories from people from inside. It's quite. It's not big, but they're very supportive of each other. Tamil rap, for example, and
Is that big in Malaysia? Tamil rap?
It's big within their community. Like if they put up like physical releases, it's easy to sell out because they will support. Yeah, but because I
Which
don't
is about
speak.
as much as you can ask for.
Yeah,
for
I
your
don't
music
I don't
but on
speak
gig that you
a
get
single word
people
of Tamil,
in
so I
tickets.
wouldn't know. Because from in East Malaysia, we don't have like a lot of Indians, Malaysian Indians. Yeah. So when I moved to West Malaysia, that's where like I met the Malaysian Indians. But yeah, Tamil rap.
French.
I'm sure there are other scenes as well, but yeah. I think the only scene in KL that is not divided by language would be the beat scene, because even though it's very small and all these like other producers there, they're actually like nerds. They live in the bedroom, so they don't go out and party. So they kind of kill their own scene as well by not going out. So I don't know.
Suffocate. Don't
Yeah.
get enough air.
Yeah. So we have like individuals and crews pushing like bass music or beat music for productions, but we have a dying scene for those particular music. Yeah. But reggae is on the rise. I mean, if we're talking about like DJ sound system style, disco and more
There's still like
the
disco.
old Malaysian
Yeah.
funky stuff. Yeah.
It relates to everybody.
And I myself, like, we've been pushing more Asian sounds as well. So
Yeah.
people are used to it.
Japanese lounge is getting super popular now.
Yeah.
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 They
I
might
think
just-
they just proved that it's feasible in terms of business model. Like you don't need 500 packs venue. It's just like if 30 people are having fun,
Yeah.
they support your business. You have enough to pay rent. Why not? Yeah. But I guess it depends on your goal. Like you want to make a lot of money, or you want to make money from what you love. So, yeah. Yeah, Japanese style. In KL, we have more small bars, but not as well.
Compared to
Bars,
Bangkok, yeah,
venues,
not so much.
Yeah.
I think fono is just one of the few.
Yeah. That's one
The
part.
rest of them is like a medium range size to
Yeah.
club level.
What's in store for 2020 for Fono?
More live
host
shows.
more live shows, host
Yeah.
more musicians as much as we can.
Yes, we try to do more non-music stuff. Music related, but not necessarily parties. We've been toying with this idea of having like music documentaries series. Yeah, we've been partnering with the past year where they supply us with German films, and then this one particular month we like, can we have things that are focused on subculture? So they supply us like this documentary about like how with the fall of the wall, just like music exchange happened. So like the birth of like the rave parties and things like that.
And really specific documentaries
Yeah.
become like a stock.
It's just like that for 1 month. The lady who worked at Goethe Institute was like, okay, I'm gonna show 4 films that is specific around Berlin Wall. Not like Berlin, but like yeah. And
it's
it's
the
very
anniversary
specific
as well.
culture in our industry in January. Yeah,
Radio station.
hopefully, yeah. Yeah, I think I
You
would
guys
say
going to do like a radio station?
hopefully.
We want to do some recording.
Yeah. But I think most importantly, like we just want to keep pushing for strengthening ties in the region. Yeah, because we talked earlier about it. Like, is it hard to get a full local lineup? We Malaysians in general, we just prefer like the Western imports. And as someone who's been like to more cities in Southeast Asia, like I have a lot of I've seen a lot of great acts in Bangkok, in Jakarta, in Singapore. Why can't we just have Asian lineup? Yeah, so we try to push that even more for next year. Yeah.
I think a lot of it's about marketing, just like if you get
Yeah.
told about it, by someone who's excited.
Yeah. Yeah. But these days we drop the the name of the city or country on the flyer, because for legal purposes. Yeah, because we're not applying for the proper artist visa.
Right.
Yeah, I think all these red tapes are like killing the scene. Yeah. So I hope they're not watching this YouTube. It's okay. You're just like these 2-3 people not
pretty
watching
reliable.
It's
getting
already
an hour
passed.
in.
It's over.
It's
So,
like, now we got you.
I knew it.
Yeah, Fono is so small. They wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Can't
That
find
makes
us.
sense. That makes sense. It's always really finicky trying to get that stuff.
I'm pretty looking forward to next year. Yeah, doing more things. A lot of people know about Fono right now. The local audience as well, not just international. Yeah, but I really appreciate like all these people coming. Like this 2 years been like supporting Fono. Yeah, so we have some regulars that always come during the weekend when we have shows.
We don't really promote it. Like we don't post photos from our nights. We just post flyers.
So sometimes they don't know what to expect. They just come over for good music because they trust us.
We don't really post how to get there. The address is there.
The neighborhood is quiet, so
and we don't pay for our social media. Everything is just organic growth. And but again, like this strengthening regional ties. But I'm hoping that Fono is also a destination for other tourists who come to the city and looking for music. Yeah, it's like, I'm in KL, like, where should I check out music? I want to be that destination.
Sure, everybody's asking. Everybody wants that, but they just don't know where. Check out Fono. Yeah.
So that is one of my personal goals.
FONO.
FONO.
Yeah, we did the wordplay because actually we don't put much thought of the origin story, but Rudy comes from a creative background, and I told him like for me, I'm very practical. Whatever name we decided to go, it need to be easily printed for merchandise. And like, okay, from 5 letters for the PHONO, it's probably easier to use FONO. You can put it in the square and all that. So
that actually
a lot of
that's
decision
a
is just like
consideration,
practical design decision. Yeah.
In Malay, is it FONO for fono? Or
No. We made up that spelling.
Wow.
Yeah. Funny story. We actually had so we have our friends who teaches Ableton. He works for Ableton. And one day he was doing Ableton workshop at Fono. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have Fono teaching at Fono." So we actually had the producer Fono with the PHO and .o at Fono. We took a picture and I need to post this online, like Fono at Fono. Yeah. But yeah, too bad he didn't perform because it was just like in and out of the country. Yeah. But it would be dope if he performed, like, coming out with the flyer or something. Yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. More music related. There's more parties. Screening, discussion, workshops. Try to get more music workshops. A friend did a survey asking about if people want to have girls guitar workshop, just to have for a safe space for girls, because it's music. It is kind of like male dominated, especially with guitar driven music.
And you always hear that story about like the one sleazy guy with the acoustic guitar trying to hook up with everybody in the room.
Yeah. So I offered her, it's like, if you need a space, can use Fono. So essentially to have a safe space for everyone.
Female DJs also.
Yeah. I really want to do that though, like female DJ workshop, because I think we don't have enough in KL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least maybe not enough in the scenes that I'm working with. Yeah, I think in the club they have a lot of they call themselves DJing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they call it themselves or like some magazines,
Nice.
or like just they like to pigeonhole things. But at least in our own the communities that we work with, there's not a lot of like female DJs or selectors. Yeah, looking forward to somehow change that. So yeah. What else? What else do we have planned? A block party. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we're always
that
up
is
for
that is for our building. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Just play nationals and have fun and not lose money. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that too much. The gendered aspect
Yeah.
of but also specifically DJ. That a lot of like before digital like podcasting and stuff, that when if you're gonna go on the air, you either like risk getting shut down by the local communications commission by having a pirate radio show, or you get hired by someone with the broadcast tower, and like especially in the like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, who are they going to hire?
Yeah.
If they own the if it's more likely to be a man to own the tower, they're more likely to hire a man to be on the mic. That would affect the sound selection of what music gets popular. And what
It is,
doesn't.
right? Yeah, it's from different aspects.
Previously it was just for fono. It's just like me and Rudy. We just like it was a boys club thing. And then she came along and she gave
I joined only this year.
Yeah.
I joined public school, fono as well.
She gave like woman's perspective on like running a venue. She's like, man, boys doesn't know how to pee.
Yeah,
Like,
the classic problem.
yeah, it's like, things that we never really pay attention. Yeah, it's like, okay, sorry, Yugo. Try.
Yeah.
Aim for the target.
Yeah. Yeah, there's those little things that doesn't come up in a meeting when it's just like boys club, yeah. Yeah. And what else? Like, like the safety of the building. It was sometimes I was just asking my fiance like, oh, what do you think of the place? And she would just point out like little things that I never really care about. For example, like, I think you guys need to install lights outside. Those are the things that me as a big size Asian guy never thought about it. Yeah.
I think music perspective as well. Like, just to add in the little softness in the music industry. Like, boys will always do a bit more heavy stuff. Yeah. So it's interesting to show people like what a female selector could do in selecting music. Yeah, to present to like underground scene.
Yeah. We try.
We have 3 female selectors in public school.
When are they? Do you guys have is everybody just playing live shows, or do you also have a webpage that you put stuff up on?
Oh, we have our MixCloud.
We have MixCloud. Yeah, we don't really have a social media presence because we refuse to be booked or to be judged by our numbers.
Right.
Yep.
So we're just like, nah.
Yes.
We're not on Facebook.
You want us
listen?
Yeah.
That's on in live.
But somehow we surrendered to Instagram.
That's a big step.
Yeah, mainly because we don't want other people to
take your
the name.
page. Yes.
Yeah, we're just like, okay, we registered. That's it. Yeah.
Have a filler page.
Yeah.
A splash page.
We have one producer affiliated with us. I know Kay does like he does like modular synthesizer stuff. So besides performing live, he did a modular workshop in KL. I think that's interesting as well. we try to expand it to have more live elements, but as of now, mainly like DJ sets. Yeah. We'll see. We're probably gonna expand into zine as well, so we're gonna have writers joining us.
Are you guys gonna do a zine as well?
Yeah,
Cool.
I mean, I've been collecting it. I've been collecting content. It's just that
Will it be in print or online?
print. Yeah.
Nice.
It's just that I'm trying to find a better word to describe lazy, but I don't think I can. But yeah, I've been lazy.
That's not true. I think you're one of like the busiest people, man. Like, you're doing like so many things.
Yeah, it does take a lot of things. Yeah, but just I think for the past 2 years it's just a very big preoccupied. Superman, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been dabbling in several sectors. But yeah, it's just for me it's a very big learning curve on trying how to make this sustainable. Yeah, doing arts, or managing arts. Yeah. Now I learned a better word to describe myself because I was like applying for grants and all that. So some of the grants are you an artist or like cultural practitioner?
Cultural practitioner.
Like,
now that's a business card.
Yeah,
That's a business.
I'm gonna go with that level. I'm a cultural practitioner. Yeah. Yeah, because it's big now. Like for example, like British Council, they're doing their focus is on hubs, like creative hubs. Yeah. So people start to acknowledge that it's not just artists who need funding or help, but these are the people behind the scene. The promoters, the curators. It's the whole ecosystem. Yeah. See, and hopefully physical mixtapes. Yeah.
Oh, right. Before you were saying cassettes are still really big in Malaysia, or is it just
it's making a comeback? But at least in I would say comeback. It's always been there, especially in the punk hardcore.
But it never
community.
really went away. That there wasn't the transition to CD.
No.
Or there was.
I think for the punk bands, they have always been releasing cassettes and 7 inches. Yeah. Because like also these bands like they tour a lot. I think they have.
Oh yeah, that's really easy. Just have a recorder, slap it in. 1 2 1 2.
Because cassettes is just more affordable way of releasing something physical. Yeah. And
you don't have to send it out somewhere and get it back. That you can just.
But in terms of physical formats, like CD used to be like the industry standard. But how many of our laptops now have CD players? How many of our cars have CD players now? So if you want to sell something physical and everyone's gonna like make extra effort to listen to it, might as well explore other options, which is now a lot of people falling back to cassettes. Yeah.
I wonder what the bulk rate on thumb drives would be.
I'm not sure.
Cassette tapes make more sense though.
But it would be cool though, like selling thumb drives. I've been thinking about it as well. Like how do
They
I
have here
package it?
in Thailand,
What?
like all the music brand like into thumb drive and then they sell it. Yeah, they have
Yeah, I've seen like some shops that do
some
like
Luktung stuff, local pop. Yeah.
And a lot of cars will play that now. It's kind of interesting how
Taxi drivers as well.
Yeah. how because for a lot of people the stereo system is in your car is what sounds the best. So and
that's what most producers do. Like, okay, we're done mixing in like fancy studio, we'll bring it to the car. We'll just listen to it in the car. So, yep, sounds good in the car. I don't know why, but yeah, it seems like one of the ultimate tests. Yeah, thumb drive. I think G-Dragon released an album thumb drive as well. It's G-Dragon. No, because I was researching about thumb drives, like how do you release.
So then the album.
Yeah, they came out by my search. Yeah.
Oh.
But he's cool. I'm not into his music, but G-Dragon is cool.
I just think the thumb drive should just be like some sort of digital download. Though. It's like
Well, I mean, you've got a Mixcloud, right?
I think the reason why I'm talking about like thumb drive is because it's the
It's nice to have a physical
it's
thing,
the
like when, to
interaction.
prove that you were there. It's like the T-shirt.
If I go to a show, right, it's like, hey, yeah, buy my album. From the moment I said that, and then they'll go home, they'll get occupied with other things. I don't think they'll purchase. Yeah, but also
it's just an extra step. As once you have it in your hand,
but also because I believe like the shortest what do you call it? Chain possible from consumer to the artist, like the better it is. Without the bank taking their fee or whatever. I think that's like the best way an artist can feel, from their pocket into your pocket,
and not have to worry about any terms and conditions on a website.
So that's what we do at Fono as well. Actually, like for most of our nights, we because I know how frustrating it is. Like when I play elsewhere, it's like, oh yeah, you'll get your money like 2 months later and whatnot. So what we do, we just whatever door money we get, we just like share to the artists, and I'll let them know like these are the money from the people who came, for your music. I just try whenever possible. I just try to keep it as short as possible. The chain of cash flow.
Direct, quicker the better. Especially for artists.
But then again, now we're living
in.
we are transitioning into a cashless society.
Right.
I don't know how that works for like tipping artists or tipping your venue. Yeah. Will this cashless thing benefit us? Will it benefit Jam, Fono? Like, will we see our tip jar being filled? Because people stop carrying cash.
Yeah. And some people they offer like that. It's like they're willing to pay more if they can do it digitally. It's a bit of a
just do the Chinese way with the WeChat Pay or something. Yeah, I can tip you instantly. We should do that, like Fono app. You can tip us digitally.
Direct to us.
Yes. Straight from your account.
Codes, one of those QR codes, tips here.
Yeah, tips here thing. And it's standard 10 ringgit. No choice.
You could put it in a jar.
Bill monthly.
Okay. That's the next investment.
That'd be a neat little engineering project. Have just a little LED display that connects like a live a tip jar that they press the button. They scan the QR code. You press the button. Right. The money goes in, and they see the number on the little LED board go up. Like there it goes.
Right. That would be great. Yeah.
I think more venues should have that.
It's like from the science fiction.
That does seem like really like 80s future, right? Like just scanning.
Well, inspired from science fiction. I think smartphones were like inspired by Star Trek.
Right, exactly. Like the tricorders. That's what they're called. Tricorders.
Wow.
We're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, recently, like Fono, people keep asking, "Oh, are you gonna do like hip hop night?" And like, we kind of know what kind of hip hop they're expecting, but we just decided to fuck with their minds. Like, yeah, I'll do a hip hop night. So we did one Wu-Tang tribute night.
Yeah.
Where we just like whatever Wu-Tang related. And we have these two nerds, hip hop nerds. They were just like in front of me while DJing, and then they were like discussing of like they were ranking albums. What do you think of this? Oh, I don't think Method Man is that great. And they're just like ranking it.
Lists.
Like,
numbered
like
lists.
While I was like DJing, it's like
Hi YouTube.
Wow. Yeah. Hip hop night, But our next hip hop night is it's actually our jazz night at end of this month. So we're just doing everything like jazz sample beats. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully. Because when we started jazz night, it was just us trying to fill up our calendar. So I was talking to my co-founder Rudy. So hey, let's take it easy. Let's do a jazz night.
Yeah.
Nobody gonna come. Let's play jazz music. And the first night was just like full house. It's like wow. And it wasn't even like live.
You might have
jazz.
accidentally tapped the the artery there.
Really
The mind.
unexpected.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't live. It was just like DJ set. It was, wow, people come to watch us press play. Because you can't really beat match jazz music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just like play.
Yeah,
play.
especially with playing like experimental jazz and then deep jazz.
Yeah.
All this it's like weird jazz.
Yeah. And then the second one with more people, and we invited a radio DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you're a DJ on radio.
Mm.
You want to play?
Yeah,
And
he hosts a jazz
Hosted
session
yeah.
on BFM.
Yeah.
Have a pro kickback.
Yeah. Yeah. So this next one will be like more beats oriented. Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, but yeah, sometimes you don't know. Like you tap this unknown market. It's there, just waiting, to be discovered. Yeah.
We were talking about that yesterday, where it seems like when promotion comes from the top down, that promoters might want like something that's already sold well, like so that they have a something in their mind that like this is what we want it to sound like. This is what'll be good, what people want. But really, what people want, it'll change all it'll change all the time.
Yeah.
That you can't really predict what.
One of our
An important role for artist space.
for fono, we stopped having expectations. People ask like, we're gonna have no people, how many people? We just like just don't think about it. If there are people
Like, will
come,
people like that kind of music? No, it's not up to our choice anyway.
Yeah.
We just give you whatever we like.
We tell our performers like just do you. I mean, with some logic sense as well, like and the only thing we control is the volume level.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And the drinks.
And the drinks.
Yeah.
We don't
Keep
do
it drunk.
we don't
Can't control the
do
weather.
we don't do tequila. That's it.
Yes.
Aww.
No, not good for the
Okay,
toilet.
I get that. That's fair.
Yeah, that's why we don't have like much drunkens in Fono.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the proud side.
It's the tequila, man.
How many Long Islands do you think you
No way
you
we can.
sell
We
on
no
any
way we
given
sell
day?
Long Island.
Or any given week?
No way. It's very dangerous.
Oh yeah, I'll agree. Long Island.
Yeah,
is
we avoid
dangerous,
Long
but for me,
Island
it's
as
a
well.
triple sec. I'm fine with tequila. Tequila is nice and relaxing. Triple sec. gets
Triple
me
sec,
out.
yes. But there's this one place I used to work. There was a Long Island in one big job, and if you come before 11, before midnight, it'll be 1 for 1. So there'll be a lot of kids like buying
College kids,
like
right?
2 jugs of like Long Island, which means 1 for 1 it would be like 4 jugs, and they're just like holding it the whole night. And drunk.
That's a nice waiting to happen. Yeah.
I mean, but as promoter at the time, who's not part of the venue, it's like, I have like very banging parties. Yeah. But now that I am the venue owner,
Right.
I have a different perspective now.
Yes.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's why we choose what to sell.
But that's about it. Like, creatively, we let other people do their thing. Yeah. Even for the new ones, like, sometimes people are like, oh, don't get that. see. But I was like, give it a try first.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe the second time I'll start thinking about it, but I think it's fair to just
That
give
people
it a try
deserve a
anyway.
first chance. At least.
Yeah.
Not just get blackballed by word of mouth.
Yeah. I mean, unless they're assholes, then yeah, we just don't look them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far we've been blessed with like very nice performers, nice crowd. Yeah.
30 over international acts
Yeah.
just this year alone.
Cool.
Nice. Getting up on one a week.
Yeah. We're also hoping that maybe we can do like the regional collaboration or takeover. Yeah. I remember back then when Mafsai and Yori from Zudrangma and from Studio Lam, they dropped by fono. I was just like jokingly saying, oh, why don't you just like do a Yadong thing in our place? It's like, yeah, it's doable. Like, and then he started talking about like the technical things, how to do it, and I was like, is he really gonna do it? Like, I was just, one of those
I think
invitations.
that's their hobby. I think they're
Yeah.
super into it. I think
Yeah.
that they're
But
into
if that
the-
happened,
We should
the
learn
craft,
from them,
the brew,
actually.
the
Yeah.
craft of brew.
yeah. So
They've got some really good flavors.
I'm gonna remind him again this weekend. I'm meeting him. Hopefully, I'll bump into him at Wonderfruit. So, hey, you still want to do this? Let's
Yeah.
do it, man.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yadong collaboration. Yeah. I don't even know what goes on inside that thing. Basically, it's just like fermentation.
It's fermented.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Alcoholic
like
drinks.
different herbs and things like that.
Yeah.
Fruits as well. Herbs and fruits.
But it's not like a rice base; it's a fruit base. Yeah,
Fruit based. Alright.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's fruit
Like,
based.
it's
The one that we have
closer
is
to
rice based.
wine.
Yeah.
Our tuak. Yeah, our local.
Moonshine.
moonshine.
Might as well. I mean, we're already illegal, so go all the way. Yeah.
Not on public.
City, yeah.
We're gonna get licensed.
No, we are a registered space.
Mm.
Yes, for sure. Yeah.
It's for our own consumption.
Yeah.
Yes. Us and
the
our
personal
friends.
supply.
And
yes.
our friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
In Malaysia we have another friend again because of all these like red tapes and ridiculous regulations, right? So he set up a speakeasy bar behind his clothing store, and again, it's illegal to do certain things like running a bar and whatnot. That's it. And the way that he come around with this, like, I'm not selling drinks.
Right.
I'm selling overpriced tokens of things,
Mhm.
which, depending on what you want to do, can be exchanged drinks. Yeah. So technically, he's not selling drinks, just exchanging it.
Vouchers.
Yeah.
Or you can collect the tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can keep the token. Was it people? I'm not sure. Yeah. But it's in Penang, so it's a modern part of Malaysia. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you ever come to Malaysia, do check out Penang as well. It's a very rising scene, I would say, musically. For the longest time, they've always been attracting like local post-rock bands, but now they've been throwing out parties as well. She played at a street party in Penang. Yeah, and then the cops came.
Yeah, cop just came at like 12:15 saying that we're blasting to the street.
Noise complaint.
And then no more music.
Rough.
Okay, we shut up.
They were waiting too. If
Yeah.
it's like 15 past midnight, then they've
Such
been waiting the
experience.
entire night to try it.
But yeah, it's getting there. Like in Malaysia now, more things are happening outside of Kuala Lumpur. I think it's healthy, especially for like visiting friends who like, I want to tour. Because before this, it was just like KL. Where else do you tour? Yeah, so now you
Now you have
play.
the South, Johor, the North Penang.
Yeah.
think it's also one of our plan that we want to go to other states, like bringing the whole team, public school DJs, selectors to play.
I really want to
out
check
of
out
KL.
Johor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Our friend's
Johor is
venue.
this state, it's a border state to Singapore. And it's a shame that I know Singapore more than I know Johor.
Yeah.
Like
When you're the food.
the only time, most of the time that I'm in Johor is because I need to cross it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just in transit.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, hi Johor, cool. But actually going to Singapore. Yeah. But now Singapore is getting more expensive, so yeah, I think it's nice to explore options. Yeah. I'm not sure further north from Penang. I'm not sure we have a scene. In Kedah, I'm not sure, but I think it would be nice.
Yeah, which is southern Thailand, near Hat Yai,
Near
Songkla.
Hat Yai, yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty interesting that part as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we share almost the same culture, like Thai Malay border culture.
I think the southern Thai, they speak Malay actually.
Yeah. Some speak Thai as well. Some Malaysians.
So I would love to one day check out like musically what's happening there when you have like these two different cultures that merge into one.
Yeah, so we can always throw like a session, right? Like sharing session, musicians.
Paddy fields.
Yeah.
Or
Forest as well.
Or some sort of military run farm. When the time comes.
Actually, I mean, those like any deactivated military base generally makes a pretty good venue. That it's a lot of space. So hopefully the political situation dies down along that border.
Yeah. Yeah, but then again,
yeah, that'd be great.
In the bunkers.
But I don't know, like from in Bangkok, like do a lot of people talk about like other parts of Thailand, like the north or the south? Like, do they link up with like, oh yeah,
Chiang Mai in Chiang Mai is different from Isan, but generally those are the
familiar.
Yeah,
culture.
that also a lot of people have like family in those regions. That it's. I don't know if it's just. Do you hear people talk about like central Thailand, like Ayutthaya or
a little bit about like
Sukhothai,
Isan.
Yeah, it's more familiar about like Isan music, Isan food. So yeah, it's only North Thailand, Chiang Mai, Isan.
Few years ago, I actually played in Hat Yai Duck Camp. It only happened once. That was the one and only. I was looking forward, like, oh, finally something happening in Hat Yai, but yeah, it never really take off. I'm not sure why they stopped doing it, but it was such a good potential, something that is like outside of Bangkok, but it's close enough for us Malaysians because we actually just took the van. We literally hired someone to drive us from Malaysia.
How many hours was that?
The festival?
It's just 1.5 hours from the border.
Oh, I mean the border?
Yeah, from KL to the border, maybe 4 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So it's a pretty short trip.
That's a decent
just
trip.
to go to Hat Yai,
You just hire a van, hire the driver, like the driver is familiar with the southern Thai, and so just drove us all the way to the festival site. Yeah. I think that if we can get something going on there, it would be nice. Yeah.
There must be something happening there. Just that we have to find out. We have to connect with people that. Yeah. That's a lot of venues coming up.
Yeah.
Small village. But we're gonna do in our region first.
Yeah.
Like start from Malaysia, the Borneo side as well.
Yeah. Well, we do have this Rainforest Music Festival in Borneo.
Yes.
Yeah.
When's that?
Internationally.
Every middle of the year. I believe next year will be in June.
June.
Yeah. They've been around for like over a decade, I think.
Yeah.
It's quite world famous as well. Yeah. Actually, Paradise Bangkok actually played last year.
Yeah. They invited them.
And then Maccabee, this Jamaican singer. Nice. But yeah, a lot of I hate to use the word, but world musicians. Yeah. But yeah, they still use that as the name of the festival. So it's called World Rainforest Music Festival. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they've been running for 10 years, that's kind of like
can't really
the genre is sort of like branched out and changed. That is.
We actually have Borneo Jazz Festival in Miri.
Jazz festival too.
Right.
Yeah, but it's still in a very old people way of like jazz, define jazz. Yeah, so you don't really get like the new sounds like now. Like, a lot of cool jazz bands from UK. Yeah, so the one we have in Borneo is still very. Still
Like
very,
inviting jazz schools.
yeah, that kind of is very European. Yeah.
Academic
Doesn't have
drummer.
like its own
Yeah.
flavour yet.
Sorry?
Doesn't really have its own flavour yet.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But yeah, Malaysia we getting more. We have a rock festival
We
next
do.
year. Yeah, Rockaway.
Wow.
It's happening next year. Yeah. Very cool.
We always have Evans games.
Yeah. And then like random old bands. We had Deep Purple coming. Came. Michael learns to rock, still come to Malaysia. Still learning how to rock.
Into school.
Alright, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. Is there anything
Thank
you guys
you,
want to
Dan.
add or let us know about?
I want to answer your first question.
Yes, I was hoping you would.
That's the thing.
Oh yeah, you have something to share, right? Your one of the most interesting experience.
Not interesting. It's
Okay,
crazy.
crazy experience.
Few years ago, my friend actually smuggled me to Thailand.
Oh,
Yeah.
that story.
Yeah, I was just like traveling in Malaysia without
Through a
passport
soft
because
part of the land borders.
it's
pretty normal.
It's my own country. I don't need a passport. It's like, hey, let's go to a strip club in Hatnya. I was like, dude, I don't have a passport. I don't really want to go to a strip club. No, why you gotta join us? Yeah. And he smuggled me. to Thailand.
So you in the
Without
back of a
passport.
van or like a back of like a lorry or something?
I was hiding the back seat.
Literally hiding.
Crouching.
Okay.
You know, like you would if you're going to a drive-through
Yeah.
theater, just like
Yeah.
hide in the trunk. One ticket, please.
Yeah. So I was at
Oh,
one
that's
point
classic.
in Thailand illegally for
Go to a
a night.
strip club.
To go to a strip club.
But I think it's
A
pretty
border
normal.
town strip club.
Border
Yeah.
town. Border town.
Yeah.
But it's
Which
pretty
is
normal
classic.
right now.
Like casinos all
Yeah,
around,
there is
all
like
along the
a
borders.
few hours package.
It's
How
a
do you know? It's
All along that,
Yeah,
that
some
triangle
guy
area
told me.
between
The
Laos,
border
Cambodia, and
police
Thailand. There's that.
don't check that
Yeah, they
thoroughly.
actually allowed that
I
just
don't
to
know.
go to the strip club.
Yeah.
So if you follow these guys to
Yeah.
Duty
strip
free.
club, and then
Oh,
they
right.
will just send you in without passport for a few hours. It's a package thing, right?
To boost the economy. Yeah.
The border economy.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, then I went to strip club, and then I was like, I was at that time I was with this my ex girlfriend, we were like still honeymoon period.
What a romantic day.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't around. I was like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be loyal. I'm not gonna look at any of the tits. And the lady boss kept sending me like girls and like to entertain me. I was like, no. I think for over 1 hour, I keep like declining, and she started sending me boys.
Oh, that's not the issue. Thanks.
Yeah,
What's
she
that?
figure out. It's like okay,
It's like, no
boys
boys.
might
needed.
work.
Yeah. I think that's one of my crazy experiences. That is related to
I think
to
I think
Thailand.
the next time you go, I think you just
Yeah.
gotta buy like a fake ring. Just.
No, that doesn't work in Thailand.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true. That's
It's
why you're
Thailand.
there. You're there because you have the ring.
No, but
right?
yeah, next year I wouldn't need a fake ring. I'll be having a real ring next year. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But I don't think she would let me to go to strip club anyway.
Yeah. Nowhere
Or
near
like
that.
still be friends with that guy. It's like, why are you friends with him?
The one who smuggle you in.
Putting your life in danger.
Great idea. Yeah. He's a role model.
Yeah. So that's to answer your question, that is like Thailand related. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
thank
us.
you. Thank you for
Thank you
having
for coming
us.
on.
Yeah.
Well, signing off. Oh, not yet. Thank you all for watching if you're watching live. And Earl, Dhyan.
Was there?
Yugo.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.